All right, this is what we're doing here. Just saying, not saying this is the best player, but just the guys we kind of think they're going to go in this round. This would be my favorite pick of that round.
Absolutely.
I'll start us off here. Round 1, I'm going to go Ryan Kelly, center from Alabama, who I just think is ready-made. He plug-and-play starter. I think he's going to be a Pro Bowl player. I've been on record saying I think he's got a chance to be an all-pro. You want an athletic center that can reach. He's got no issues doing that. Work up to the second level, no problem. And he can move people at the point of attack. I'm a big, big Ryan Kelly fan.
I agree. Good player. You're really high on him. You've been selling the Ryan Kelly train for a long time, and so I'm glad that you're able to commit to it, that you put your name on it, and you're good with Ryan Kelly. I am also big on a guy in the first round, and that is Jalen Ramsey. I have pushed him hard from the beginning to the end of this process. I believe he is a world-class athlete with blue-chip talent. He understands how to play the position, and I believe his boat has kind of taken on some water of late. People are pointing out the fact that he only has 3 career interceptions, didn't force a turnover in the last 17 games of his career. But to me, the tape doesn't lie. He's an impact player. He can play multiple positions. He brings the intensity. He plays with a high football IQ. In the right situation, a defensive coordinator can put him in a situation to create chaos. Because of that, I'm willing to buy on the talent and the upside.
I'm a big Jalen Ramsey fan, too. I can't complain there. He's my 3rd overall player, Bucky. Let's roll on here. Let's roll through this. Round 2, I'm going to go Devontae Booker, running back from Utah. One of my favorite players because he can do everything. He catches the ball out of the backfield. He'll run with some power. I love the way he finishes each and every run. In pass protection, I think he's competitive. That's all I want. You willing? He'll stick his face in there. He can do that. I've compared him to Tiki Barber throughout the process. I think somebody's going to get a great value for him. There's a seriousness about him when you talk to him. I dig it. I'm a fan.
No, I'm a big fan. I think he's a talented player, good runner. Put that offense on his back at Utah. Can run inside and outside. Doesn't have home run speed, but he has a craftiness about him that reminds me of Arian Foster. Love to pick. For me, in the 2nd round, Keanu Neal from Florida.
He will knock you out.
Big-time hitter. I believe football is going back to the old school where you have to have enforcers in the middle of the field. He is a big-time hitter. He changes the game. He prevents and discourages quarterbacks from throwing down the middle, and he's a much better athlete than people can imagine. He not only can play in the box, I think he has enough athleticism and range to really play in the back end. I want this kind of guy on my team.
Yeah, he is an enforcer. That's a good word for him. Nothing changes the momentum of a football game like a big hit, and he provides a lot of those. All right, round number 3, I'm going to go Sharon Peak, somebody we've talked about a lot on here from Clemson, and that's right, Bucky. I'm taking the Clemson guy, not you.
That's fine. I'm trying to.
You've been bowing down at the Clemson altar here for like the last 5 episodes, but somebody that's great after the catch. He's tough. He's physical. Very, very competitive. Reminds me of Mohamed Sanu when he's running. Man, he's just a tall, strong kid. I think he's got a chance to be a better pro than he was in college. And these Clemson wide receivers, for the most part, aside from one of them getting some trouble off the field,
they find a way.
On the
find
field,
a way to make it.
They make it happen.
They do make it happen. They're very, very talented players. He's another in a long line of long-rangey Tigers to make it. I am going to go off the grid.
What you got?
You're not even going to believe this. Roberto Aguayo.
With the kicker?
I'm going with the kicker.
I'm for that.
I'm going with the kicker. Now, part of it is because this guy is terrific at putting the ball between the uprights. But I believe with the new kickoff rules, he is going to be a sky kick specialist in terms of being able to put it in the coffin corner and change the field position game. And so we think that teams are going to elect the touchback. No. They're going to sky kick it, pop it up, allow their coverage units to come and pin people inside the 20. Roberto Aguayo's value as a directional kicker makes him valuable. He is a nice guy to look for in the 3rd round.
Some people lost their minds on Twitter when I said it wouldn't shock me if he went in the 2nd round.
I wouldn't be surprised.
3rd round wouldn't surprise me at all. No, trust me.
Changes the game.
He's big time. All right, I'm going to go round number 4.
This is your guy.
Got to stick with my guy, man.
All these
Brandon
guys
Allen.
are your guys.
I've been riding Brandon Allen, the quarterback from Arkansas, all the way to the finish line. I know people are split on him. You know, look, earlier in his career, he struggled. Man, the guy came on path to the draft and told us a story about his car getting burned down, his car getting egged, and didn't transfer, stuck it out, ended up getting that thing kind of turned around this year. I'm a big fan of his, Buck. He's been in an NFL system. Toughness, accuracy, check. Now, he doesn't have the ideal size. Hands are a little bit small. But I love the competitiveness that he has. Watch him drop a dime right there in the corner. I think he's got a chance to eventually, in the right spot, be a solid starter in this league.
He is really good with anticipation and timing, and I believe those traits are very, very important He's very accurate working inside the numbers. We can ding him for his hand size, but he does do a great job of getting the ball out to his playmaker.
Who you got, Buck?
I'm going to go with Thomas Duarte from UCLA. I kind of stole this guy from you. But familiar with Thomas Duarte
guy
from UCLA. He is the next hybrid tight end that can kind of take the league by storm. We've seen what Jordan Reed and some of these other guys have been able to do. Guys that can line up as tight ends but really play as oversized wide receivers. Duarte is a guy that I can see being a mismatched nightmare, a guy that gives you that Jordan Reed impact. Love his hands and athleticism. He's not going to block well, but if you put him on the field, you have to recognize him as a tight end. I think he can create matchup problems. I'm going to go with him as a guy that I absolutely love in this draft.
Yeah, he's a mismatch. He can create a lot of separation there at the top of his route. I'm with you on that one, Bucky. Let's go round number 5, and I'm going to go off the grid a little bit here. Kevin Byard, who's somebody, the more that I watch him, the more that I appreciated just his ball skills in the middle of the field, not from a powerhouse program, okay, but he's somebody that when you study him, you see everything that you want to see. I believe it was Alabama was the first tape that I popped on with him in the middle of the field making all kinds of plays. You see him there from Middle Tennessee. Look at the numbers there. I love that production.
Love the production. Production translates. 19 interceptions, 15 PBUs, 2 touchdown returns in his career. Love having guys that are around the ball. I want ball hawks on my team. I like that pick. That's not a bad pick.
Yeah, going off the grid a little bit here. What do you got, Buck?
I'm going to go with our guy that was on the 360 series last week. How about Daniel Braverman?
Oh, here we
How
go.
about that? I put him up high enough.
He has some swagger to him when he came on.
He does have a lot of confidence. I love what he talked about in terms of his ability to run after the catch, how he studies the greats, makes plays with the ball in his hands, and he's a crafty route runner. There's always a place in the league for guys who understand how to get open. He works the soft spots of zone defenses better than anybody else in the draft.
I thought it was impressive when he came on. You know, look, a lot of these guys, college players, they don't watch a lot of NFL football. Every player that we asked him about, he knew something about him. He was even reciting plays for some of these guys. He's all in.
He's all in. He had a nice catalog. I like the way he approached the game.
All right, let's keep it rolling here. Round number 6. I'm going again. I'm going away from Division I. I'm like the anti-D1 guy. I'm going to go to Montana, Tyrone Holmes. And this is an edge rusher, Bucky, that can win with power, and he wins with effort. He's somebody that I think is going to, find his way into this area. I have him here in round number 6. He's going to make your football team year 1, probably going to cover some kicks, maybe get in on some of your sub packages, and I think this is a guy year 2, year 3 down the line, you're going to really like what you have.
I've always heard sacks translates to pro production, and when you look at his history, 18 sacks, the leader in FCS. Look, you can see all that.
The artist formerly known as Division I AA.
That's right. I'm going to go round 6. I'm going to go to a guy that also shined at that level, but then made the big jump to go to Oregon. How about Vernon Adams?
VA.
Vernon Adams in the 6th round, to me, is a guy that is going to find a way to have success. No, he doesn't have the prototypical dimensions, but we saw him at the East-West game light it up with his accuracy, his ball placement, his timing and touch. Not necessarily a guy that is going to kill you with his legs, but he does have enough athleticism to buy time. I'm just a believer in the winning aspect and the intangibles. I think he finds a way to carve out a nice career in the league.
I think he's going to be a really good backup at that point in the draft. That's a really good pick, Bucky. You ever watch infomercials?
I have watched infomercials.
You're getting ready to see one here. my 7th round ideal player is Moritz Boehringer, who is our German wide receiver friend.
Yeah, we had him on
that came in, sat right next to you here on our podcast, which, by the way, I think it had almost like 180,000 views already with our interview. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Move the 6 360 series. You can find it on YouTube. You'll enjoy it. This guy, look at these highlights. I could watch him over and over again. Yeah, maybe he's playing against junior hires there in Germany, but you see somebody that is big, fast, explosive, and tough. Look, it's going to be a long process, but at this point in the draft, round number 7, I want to take a fun project, and I'm going to go with Moritz Boehringer.
Well, he's a project.
Or Mobo, as we call him now.
Mobo. I like that nickname. He is a guy that certainly needs some time to get acclimated to the league, but I like the physical dimensions. What he put down in his pro day, you can't dispute.
Numbers are numbers.
Those are big-time athletic numbers. I want to build around it, and I want to be patient enough to allow him to develop. He's a really good player. I'm glad we had a chance to hear his story on the 360 series.
By the way, I am realizing that German university football, very similar to private school San Diego football that I played. Yes.
Oh, yeah?
Not a lot of tans on that field there. Boehringer is rolling right there.
Yeah, he is rolling. I noticed that the safety's not in the middle of the field often either.
Don't worry about that. We split safety,
Yeah, they leave it open. I'm going to go in the 7th round with a guy that played at Cal that is really underrated, but I think is a really good player. How about Bryce Treggs? Bryce Treggs lit up the pro day, ran 4 threes at the pro day. Really good route runner. He's a local kid from the LA area, played at St. John's Bosco, very familiar with him. I've had coaches call me and ask about him, and they talk about the hands, the explosiveness. As a guy that could be that 7th round priority free agent, don't be surprised if Bryce Treggs carves out a little role for a team as a 4th receiver.
I like that, Bucky. As we kind of wrap this segment up here, I don't know if I told you this story before. One of my proudest moments talking about that little private school, high school league that I played in growing up. I wore sleeves. I wore sleeves all the way down, and so we ran the ball a lot. So I was getting recruiting letters to Darnell Jeremiah. Awesome. It was like the greatest compliment ever.
Okay, man. Darnell, really athletic.
Yeah, Darnell.
Really athletic.
Can't be a Daniel. It's got to be a Darnell. Fantastic.